Another sensational circuit, Castiglione del Lago in northern Italy. The beautiful sunny setting for round 5 of the World Motocross Championship Series. Michael PICHON on a potential hat-trick, having won the Italian 250cc Grand Prix of 2000 and 2001. Can he join that elite squad of people who've won a country's Grand Prix 3 years in succession? There's only been 8 riders in 250 Grand Prix have done that so far in the history of the sport. Josh COPPINS forced his way into second place in the championship with that brutal last lap pass on Pit BIERER in France. Gioiella on the Kurz Casali Yamaha is the man with the helmet cam, taking a look round to his left and seeing alongside him his compatriot Frederick Bolle. BIERER then third in the championship standings. Castiglione del Lago first hosted a 250 Grand Prix in 1993, which was won by world champion-elect that year, Honda's Greg Albertine. And Michael PICHON is not the man who emerges at the front. It is indeed Honda's, and it looks as if BIERER and Josh COPPINS might have popped up at the front out of that scaldingly fast right-hand first turn. And it's lovely to see the dust being kicked up, and it wasn't. It was Paul Cooper in second place. Cooperman on the cast Bacon Bite Honda is in second place. Oh, as Kenneth Gunderson in front of Gioiella takes almost a right-angle right turn clean off the track. So absolute bedlam here, a chaotic first lap under superb conditions here at Castiglione del Lago. The man at the front, Pit BIERER, Bernie Honda, as Michael PICHON slews his way across in front of Paul Cooper, taking no prisoners as he rarely does, and in fourth place James Dobb on KTM. And a really chaotic first lap. There's been a fair bit of course watering as well, so a strange mixture of mud, water and dust here to greet the riders. There's Jussi Väiväläinen, rider number 8, almost T-boning his teammate Paul Cooper. And number 10, Colin Dugmore, the 34-year-old South African veteran on the Millennium KTM, has also got a blinding start. Michael PICHON drops number 1. The reigning world champion makes a rare error and loses a couple of places, but just look how quickly he remounted. An absolute bedlam at the bottom of the hill as Josh COPPINS gets sideswiped. It might even have been Gordon Crockard trying to outbreak him down the hill. The Ulsterman locked up, got it sideways, slapped into the Kiwi, and 3 or 4 of them went down like dominoes. Well, that's one way of recovering from a bad start, but not the best one. The man who's ahead of all the mayhem at the moment is Pit BIERER. James Dobb has forced through into second place on KTM. So Honda leads KTM. BIERER versus Jamie Dobb, and PICHON already back up to third place. What's he like? He's straight back past Paul Cooper, who doesn't wait for anybody to gather their resources around him. He's just taking off once again. Cooperman then, 30-year-old on the cast Honda, is in third place. Fourth place, 5th is Väiväläinen, 6th Gunderson, 7th McFarlane, 8th after a brilliant start Mark Eastwood, and 9th number 17 Mathieu Laloz. Further back, Jason Higgs also benefiting from the chaotic first lap. And you could see in 18th place there, the veteran American Bada Mane, now resident in Italy, making a rare Grand Prix outing. And Gordon Crockard in 20th place. We're on board with Gioiella just outside the top 10, right behind Mark Eastwood, number 56, in front of him. Aubert on the Kurz Casali Yamaha, trying to find a way past Eastwood. Up the inside, over the hill. And manages it quite easily. The more tenacious, younger Mark Eastwood might have responded. Perhaps he still can. And this once more is on board with the now 10th placed number 11 machine of Aubert, as Eastwood does respond and drives uphill, gets the Wiseco Honda back in front of Aubert. And this is a top 10 battle between the Englishman and the Frenchman. Johnny Aubert, of course, is his bright eyes as blue as his riding kit, the nephew of the great Frenchman Jean-Jacques Brunel. This is the battle for second place. And Michael PICHON, look at the lines he finds. He catapults his way inside the KTM. Dobb responds. 2 world champions side by side downhill. And PICHON looks as if he's got the line that he needs to hold on to that second position. He has. Dob loses it, and just ahead of them, Pit Bierer, but Dobby comes back again and drives underneath the Frenchman. Cuts to the inside again, and this time tries to block the Frenchman's way. Pichon very sensibly says, OK, that corner's yours, but not for long, and just flicks it sideways over the hilltop. And that gets him the tight line at the bottom of the hill. He returns the compliment. Dobby waits for him. He knows when someone's about to dish out the same treatment he dishes out to other people. He responds, but Pichon is there. Tremendous racing by two world champions who think they own the track here. Dob rams Pichon. Pichon stays on. If you're going to do something like that, I guess it's got to be wholehearted, and you've got to lay the guy down. Dobby now comes back up the inside. Motocross racing at its best, two world champions at the top of their game. Pichon experienced on the 250, Dob regaining experience on the 250. Dob, of course, started out in 125 Grand Prix back in about 1987 with Kajiva as a 15-year-old. He's been racing for 27 of his 30 years. How's that for a long career? Dob now has been pushed back down to third place. Paul Cooper is behind him. Andrew McFarlane in fifth place, making progress forward this time past his teammate Kenneth Gunderson. But at the front of the race, after 4 laps, Michael PICHON, and there have been 4 very hectic laps, Pichon, who's already been off the bike once, is right there behind the race leader, Pit Bierer. Pit Bierer with a battle on his hands now. Bernie Honda, of course, it's an Italian team, but it's not going to help Pit Bierer right now, although he does manage to hit the ejector button as he comes out of that deep right-hander. But Pichon has got the line where Bierer likes to use the full weight of the track and take the wide lines. He gets blocked as Pichon goes cleverly inside him and underneath him and takes the line right from beneath his nose. So Pichon riding undeniably well, hits the front here in Italy. And his anxious wife needn't look that anxious, really, because all of a sudden he just might have this race under control. Can Pit Bierer hit back? But Bierer's already confessed that this year, when he's tried to ride the same lines as Michael Pichon, he's found them almost impossible to get a hold of. This is the battle for 7th place now. Johnny Aubert looking good. He's trying to make progress, but Josh Coppins, after that earlier mishap, that earlier tumble when he got into a bit of a knot with Gordon Crockard, is making progress. He comes through into 7th place. Almost a smile on Senior Bernie's face there. This is McFarlane attacking Dob, and Andrew McFarlane, who likes the hard, slick conditions. Remember, he finished second in an Australian Open Grand Prix a couple of years ago on a 426 Yamaha. He likes it baked hard like this, as he found it at Broadford that memorable day. And that was the ride that really persuaded Jan de Groot to sign the Aussie for the Motorex Yamaha team in 250 GPs. And the 25-year-old beginning to look like he's getting to grips here with Castigliano del Lago. And he gets away from Dob, and anyone who takes that deep line down at the bottom of the hill there seems destined to lose several yards by doing it if someone can get the inside rut. James Dob pushed down to 4th place. And the battle going on between Frederick Bolle and Mark Eastwood, but Bolle looks as if he's almost pulling out. He takes that wide line and he's cruising. Frederick Bolle's cruising. Bolle looks as if he might be out of the race. A despondent Yamaha camp. Strange thing about those garages, you can't tell the difference between the faces of the ones who are winning and the ones who are losing. Jussi Vehviläinen goes past the retiring Frederick Bolle. And this is the battle between Kenneth Gunderson and number 11, Johnny Aubert. Aubert trying to get inside him, and he does. Gets the grip he needs, gets the drive, and sees off the Norwegian. So 2 bright young kids together. Aubert has got the advantage over Gunderson. The multi-pierced Johnny Aubert. And this is Andrew McFarlane of Australia losing out to Josh Coppins of New Zealand. The 2 Antipodeans locked in battle, and Coppins still progressing hard after that clash with Gordon Crockard. Getting the better of the Aussie, or has he? And finally, we've got happy faces as Josh Coppins pushes his way through into third place and pulls a couple of seconds by lap 16 on McFarlane. Aubert, a brilliant fifth now, 3 seconds clear of Kenneth Gunderson. Both McFarlane and Gunderson heading for far and away their best results of the year. Who'd want to be a mechanic, having to watch all this, waiting for your bike to break down? Michael PICHON doesn't show much sign of breaking down. In fact, I can't remember the last time that he had a mechanical problem with a Suzuki. The man who went to the States, won 2 back-to-back 125cc Supercross Championships. The East Coast Supercross Championship of 1995 and 1996 for Pro Circuit Kawasaki. And this is the battle being joined now between Josh Coppins and Pit BIERER. Could it go down to the last lap once again? In the Mode of France, it was Josh Coppins who got the verdict with a dubious last lap move. Can he do the same again? 19 laps completed. PICHON leads by 14 seconds. But BIERER, oh, look at that, under braking absolutely sideways, hanging it all out and out of the bend as well as Josh Coppins turns on the heat. We're on to the last lap now. Can Coppins once again brutally reverse the positions on Pit BIERER? BIERER hanging on, hanging on, hanging on. But here comes Coppins. He's looking for any which way through. He gets the inside line, but BIERER gets across in front of him this time. Pit BIERER and Josh Coppins, teammates in name only. This is a battle for real for second place in the Italian Grand Prix of 2002. At the moment, Coppins has a 4-point advantage in the World Championship. They're putting their team on edge. And once again, Josh Coppins with a last lap block pass may have got the advantage over the gallant German. Pit BIERER, can he retaliate? Here he comes up the inside. Oh, and this time, the gentlemanly, or the usually gentlemanly Pit BIERER finally loses patience and hits it. Josh Coppins so hard that he falls down himself. What a cruel end to his efforts. Michael PICHON, almost unnoticed, takes the win. Josh Coppins wheelies triumphantly across the line in second place, and once again, the man who will be in for a telling off when he gets back to his pit is Pit BIERER. Great ride by the German. Tough look on the last lap. Still, that could signify a change in Pit BIERER's genteel outlook on life. He certainly went for it then, and he didn't lose anything. He still finished third ahead of Andrew McFarlane. Johnny Aubert, a great result for him, ahead of Kenneth Gunderson, James Dobb and Christian Beggy, being inspired to get his Honda into 8th place on home soil. Michael PICHON, a magnificent trophy, his 4th out of 5 in the 2002 World 250cc Championship Series, and opens up a tremendous gap at the top ahead of Josh Coppins, who squeezes out another 2 points over Pit BIERER with another last lap plus. Kenneth Gunderson 4th, Frederick Bolle 5th, James Dobb in 6th place, a point ahead of Väyväläinen.